Can you share a little bit more about yourself with everyone?
Sure. So my name is Elvin. I did my undergrad or my first 2 years, my associate degree at Bunker Hill Community College, where you are, where I was a member of a lot of clubs. From there, I graduated and I went on to Lesley University to get my bachelor's degree in psychology. And now I am back at Lesley University doing my master's degree. And in between, I've been working jobs such as like in education, retail, and pretty much been learning new skills.
What are you studying in your master's degree?
Sure. Right now, I'm doing a major in international higher education. It focuses on education from different cultural aspects. So it's a combination of how people can come here to the U.S. and communicate effectively by just being from a different culture.
I'm interested to find out what led you to Bunker Hill in the first place.
Sure. So I grew up in Chelsea, Mass. So one of the reasons why I decided to go to Bunker Hill was because accessibility. It was really close to my place. It was about 10 to 15 minutes drive to where my home was. And also it was really affordable. I could afford the classes. I could get there on time and I could also have my own life working somewhere else. So those two aspects are the ones that led me to Bunker Hill.
What was your first impression of Bunker Hill when you enrolled?
Yeah, so my first impression is like being a new student, really nervous. I didn't know if I could succeed, but my first impression was that everyone was really welcoming, accepting, and it's like a melting pot. It doesn't matter where you come from. Once you get inside Bunker Hill, it's like everyone's the same, and you can communicate and learn so much from each other. So, yeah, first impression of Bunker Hill was like a melting pot and an accepting community of everyone.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you were involved in some student clubs.
Yeah, yeah. So I had some friends that were engaged and participating in student clubs, and they were also doing community service. So I started getting involved with that, and along the way, I met people from student activities, where I was actually inspired by them, and I apply, to work for them. But I also got involved in being members of like the multicultural club, the language club, and I really enjoyed meeting a lot of people there.
I am actually an international student, so I kind of, well, as all of us are, I can relate to what you are saying. So, can you please tell us more about how did you balance your student life with your participation in the clubs, and how did that go for you?
Sure. So that's a really tricky thing. I think that Bunker Hill has has a lot of type of students, but two of the main type of students that I saw there were students that were coming to Bunker Hill and they were staying after class, and that led them to be more involved on with clubs or other activities. And students that actually came and to take classes, and after that they went home to take to work or do something else. I was the type of student that after class I stayed on campus to do homework, and that led me to be more involved. So how I balanced my life was like pretty much attend classes, do your assignments. After that, you have some free time, get involved. So how I did it, just to answer your question, simply was like balance school first, and after that activities.
Yeah, thank you. And what can you please tell us one of the most challenging times that you have at Bunker Hill and how you overcame it?
Sure. So one of the most challenging times was when I was a full-time student. I was taking 5 classes. I had 2 jobs, and I was also volunteering a lot. So it came to the point where I didn't know, I was not enjoying or having fun because I was being pulled from one place to the next. So that was really challenging. It was a whole semester. after that, I learned my lesson, and I realized that if I'm gonna do this, either I should be full time and not have as many jobs, or just focus more a little bit on jobs and take less classes. So just balancing, like being a full time student with all the assignments and having having two jobs, it was really challenging for a whole semester.
That is exactly what is happening to me this semester. So I completely understand you.
Mm.
Did you, well, I think that this is kind of the questions that we did before. Would you do something different, or would you change something at Bunker Hill?
Yeah. So something I would do differently if I was back there when I was at Bunker Hill, I wanted to just experience as many or just experience as many moments as possible. I wanted to learn so much that I kind of prioritize quantity over quality. So it was all about like having a lot of moments, by volunteering, doing community service, being in clubs, working for student activities, being an ACE mentor, and also like taking classes and jobs. So I had so much on my plate that I really did not enjoy that. If I were to do it again, I would do quality over quantity. So just do small things, and enjoy them a lot more, because doing a lot of things that leads to stress. And over a year or over a semester, with all the stress, with all the deadlines, that will come back and it will burn you out.
So, Alvin, I think when we spoke earlier, I understand that you started off as a biology major. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things is that I did not know what I wanted to do with my degree. So I went there and then I was undecided. I think one of the things that Bunker Hill does great is that they have a program called General Concentration. Pretty much it's just kind of like, if you don't know what to do, it's okay. Just do you kind of like, your requirement classes such as math, English, and take a few electives and pretty much explore your ideas. Other universities don't have this, and you're forced into a program that later on could actually, hurt you. But Bunker Hill does this. So I was a biology major because I love sciences and all of that, and life and study of life. But then later on, I realized that my passion was a little bit more with history and government. And then I switched to a history and government major. And then later on, I also realized that maybe that was not my thing. So I decided to go with psychology and human services, so I can actually interact and help people. And that's where I am right now. So something I would just advise everyone is that if you don't know what your major is, just explore your ideas, but never die on a hill saying, I need to be a doctor, I need to be a nurse, and this is what I'm going to do. If you kind of die on that hill, pretty much it will be really sad if later on you have your degree and then you don't enjoy doing that job. So just kind of explore first if you don't know what you're doing, what you want to do, and later on just see what's best for you and what you enjoy doing.
Makes sense. And a lot of students are not sure when they're picking out their majors if they're even going into a career that that major can benefit them. How do you feel psychology helps you in your career?
Yeah. So I feel like psychology is needed everywhere, because you're always gonna have those kind of like, perspectives, or cultural differences or communication differences. And psychology allows you to see the world in a bigger perspective. I'll give you an example. Here in America, we see, or we appreciate personal space. It's my personal space. Don't come close to me. That's something that we do. However, other cultures, my culture, Latin America, we are a high contact culture. What that means is that we get really close to each other and we touch each other a lot more. So psychology allows me to understand that when I'm meeting somebody from a different culture, I should understand, their perspective and not just be like, stay away from me. So just uh, uh, being culturally sensitive, that's a part that psychology, allows you to have. And also, like with agreements, sometimes people disagree on things and they believe just because they disagree on something, they cannot work together. But that's completely okay. Disagreement does not mean you cannot work together. It just means you have a difference in opinion, and that's completely okay.